sessions of approximately an hour. Recent decades and current trends. IT would hardly be accurate to say that we now live in a period of great enlightenment about or dependable treatment of mental disorders. In fact, surveys have found that 43% of respondents believe that people bring mental disorders on themselves. 31% consider such disorders to be a sign of personal weakness. 35% believe the disorders are caused by sinful APA. Yokoret Roper, 2000. How are people with severe disturbances cared for? In the 1950s, researchers discovered a number of new psychotropic medications, drugs that primarily affect the brain and reduce many symptoms of mental dysfunction. They included the first antipsychotic drugs, which correct extremely confused and distorted thinking, antidepressant drugs, which lift the mood of depressed people, and anti-anxiety drugs, which reduce tension and worry. When given these drugs, many patients who had spent years in mental hospitals began to show signs of improvement. Hospital administrators, encouraged by these results and pressured by a growing public outcry over the terrible conditions in public mental hospitals, began to discharge patients almost immediately. Since the discovery of these medications, mental health professionals in most of the developed nations of the world have followed a policy of deinstitutionalization, releasing hundreds of thousands of patients from public mental hospitals. On any given day in 1955, close to 600,000. Figure 1.1. Today the daily patient population in the same kinds of hospitals is between 38,000 and 75,000. Aha, 2019a. O'Reilly, Allison, and Bastian Pillay, 2019. Amadia. Figure 1.1. The impact of deinstitutionalization. The number of patients now hospitalized in public mental hospitals in the United States, less than 75,000, is a small fraction of the number hospitalized in 1955. Information from AHA, 2019a. Omadi. The horizontal axis. From Juilliard to the Streets. Nathaniel Ayres, subject of the book and movie The Soloist, plays his violin on the streets of Los Angeles while living as a homeless person in 2005. Once a promising musical student at the Juilliard School in New York, Ayres developed schizophrenia and eventually found himself without treatment and without a home. Without question, outpatient care has now become the primary mode of treatment for people with severe psychological disturbances as well as for those with more moderate problems. When severely disturbed people do need institutionalization these days, they are usually hospitalized for a short period of time. Ideally, they are then provided with outpatient psychotherapy and medication in community programs and residences. Ursun, 2019. Chapters 3 and 14 will look more closely at this recent emphasis on community care for people with severe psychological disturbances, a philosophy called the community mental health approach. The approach has been helpful for many patients, but too few community programs are available to